Welcome, everyone. Picture this: a balmy Miami night, neon lights flickering, and a wealthy man steps into a local bar. He immediately notices an African woman sitting quietly in the corner. What kind of tension is brewing already, do you think?
It's a classic setup for a social drama. The man's arrival shifts the energy, especially given the clear distinction he draws between himself and the woman. The bar becomes a stage where class, race, and power dynamics are about to play out in real time.
Absolutely. And as we transition to what happens next, the wealthy man makes a rather shocking announcement.
Right. He loudly proclaims his intention to buy drinks for everyone except the African woman. This deliberate exclusion sets the scene for a confrontation, but not the kind you might expect.
When someone excludes another so publicly, it often says more about the perpetrator than the target. Why do you think he felt compelled to make such a spectacle?
Public exclusion can be a demonstration of power. Psychologists liken it to social ostracism, where the goal is humiliation. But in this case, the man's need for an audience hints at deeper insecurities, almost as if he's seeking validation from the crowd.
That's an interesting point. Public acts like this can backfire, as we'll see. But before we get there, let's talk about the bartender's role in this unfolding scene.
The bartender, caught in the middle, chooses to comply without protest. This echoes historical scenarios where bystanders enable discrimination for personal or financial reasons. It's a subtle yet powerful commentary on complicity.
Now, instead of reacting with outrage, the woman simply looks at the man and says, "Thank you. That's a twist. What do you make of her response?"
Her gratitude is a masterstroke. By responding with composure, she subverts his expectations. This mirrors the concept of psychological judicing and aggressor's energy against them. It's a powerful, non-confrontational resistance.
It's reminiscent of stories where dignity disarms aggression. As we move forward, her response becomes even more significant.
Absolutely. The ripple effect of her words is immediate. Rather than diminishing her, it unsettles the wealthy man and shifts the emotional balance in the room.
Frustrated, the man escalates. He buys even more extra bottles, lavish food for everyone but her. What drives people to double down when their initial efforts fail?
It's often about ego. When their attempts at domination are brushed off, some feel compelled to amplify their actions to regain a sense of control. The escalation here is textbook. He raises the stakes, convinced he can force a reaction.
And yet, each time, the woman's response remains unchanged. It's almost as if his power is slipping through his fingers despite the increased effort.
Exactly. His growing frustration is a classic case of diminishing returns. The more he tries to harm her, the more he inadvertently elevates her image in the eyes of the crowd.
Let's revisit the staff, the bartender, and the waiter. They play a subtle but crucial part in this drama. What's your take on their behavior?
Their compliance exposes the tension between personal beliefs and business interests. In hospitality, staff often face moral dilemmas, challenge a customer, or protect the establishment's profits. Here, their neutrality maintains the status quo, but it also leaves space for underlying truths to emerge.
It's a reminder of how systems, not just individuals, perpetuate exclusion. The staff's silence is almost as loud as the man's proclamations.
And yet, they also become unwitting participants in an ironic twist soon to be revealed.
After repeated attempts to provoke her, the wealthy man finally asks the bartender, "Is she crazy?" The bartender's response that she owns the bar completely flips the narrative. How does this revelation reshape the story?
It's a masterclass in irony. The man's attempts to diminish her only serve to enrich her business and reputation. This reversal exposes the folly of prejudice and the unpredictability of power dynamics.
It's almost poetic justice. The crowd, once passive witnesses, now sees the woman in a new light, a position of ultimate authority.
Indeed, the entire bar becomes a classroom in humility and perception. The aggressor's actions boomerang, benefiting the very person he intended to insult.
This story reminds me of situations where true power is hidden in plain sight. How do hidden hierarchies affect social interactions, especially across racial and economic lines?
Hidden authority often transforms outcomes. In workplaces, for example, underestimating someone based on appearance or role can backfire. Studies show that diverse leadership teams outperform homogeneous ones by up to 35%, precisely because of underestimated perspectives.
So, in a sense, the woman's silence was a form of control, not weakness?
Exactly. She let assumptions play out, knowing her position would ultimately reverse the narrative. It's a lesson in the quiet strength of patience.
Let's explore the psychological angle. What happens to both parties in a public humiliation attempt like this, especially when it backfires?
For the target, the support of self-worth and composure can diffuse harm. For the aggressor, failed humiliation often leads to embarrassment and self-reflection. According to social psychologists, public shaming can actually reinforce the target's social bonds if they respond with dignity.
So, the woman's thank you wasn't just defiance, it was a strategy to reclaim the narrative?
Precisely! By thanking him, she neutralized his aggression and redefined the social script. Instead of isolation, she became the focal point of admiration.
This story echoes in today's world. Think about viral social media incidents where attempts at shaming go spectacularly wrong. Can you share any real-world parallels?
Absolutely. Consider the Streisand effect, where efforts to suppress information only make it more widespread, or recent cases where attempts to cancel individuals end up boosting their platforms. Social dynamics often reward resilience and authenticity in unexpected ways.
That's a great connection. The Miami bar incident is almost a parable for our digital age.
Exactly. And it reminds us that intent and outcome often diverge, especially when audiences are involved.
So, what's the takeaway? The story ends with a moral: be wishing harm, we may inadvertently help others. How can we apply this lesson in daily life?
Empathy is key. Instead of reacting to provocation, stepping back can allow hidden advantages to surface. In business, for instance, adversaries' actions can open new markets or strengthen brand loyalty. Every challenge holds a potential benefit if we keep perspective.
That's a powerful message. As we wrap up, it's clear that dignity, restraint, and hidden strength can turn adversity into opportunity.
Absolutely. Sometimes our so-called enemies unknowingly become our benefactors, a lesson worth remembering in any context.